Yo,
Go ahead,
one,
Big
two,
Shot.
1, 2. You ready?
Yes. Yeah, it took it a second to click on. Go ahead, y'all. I'm sorry. It took it a second. Like, what's y'all doing?
Y'all get to see the behind the scenes shit that what we have to deal with in order to give y'all what we need. Sometimes the fish don't be ready, but it be ready.
It don't be ready.
Just like this trade deadline, man. This trade deadline, the fish was ready, but it wasn't ready. I wasn't ready, but we're about to get ready. So 94 Feet of Life, we are here, we are here, we are here. Sponsored by the same. What's going on, y'all? A lot of movements been made. I see people trying to catch this fade for Cade.
Man.
At least
Orlando not the
is.
fade for Cade.
They try to catch the fade for Cade. Clear. They had a whole rubbish sale. They just had a whole garage sale. All sorts of old polo shirts, a couple of vintage Barbie dolls. I think I saw a Teletubby in there too. They gave all of it away. All of it. All of the misfit toys they gave away. They was like, you know what? I'm a teenager now. It's time to do teenage stuff.
So that mean that included the troll kids as well.
The troll doll is gone. The Pikachu is gone. Everything is gone out of Orlando. And they looking at a couple of these pieces like, all right, Cole. All right.
They straight up, it's like, yo, we kind of really tired of getting to the playoffs and just having the 5 games max. So let's go ahead, let's just go ahead this rummage sale right now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they didn't even really. I didn't just driving through the neighborhood. I didn't even see a sign up that they were having a rummage sale. I would have stopped through. I would have took them a couple of pans of the Hams Homemade. Buy those joints, y'all. I got them joints pumping. The brownies and all that. I could have chopped it up with my rookie Cole Anthony while I was there because he would have made an appearance. It would have been, it would have been a last scene. We probably could have got somebody to come through, spit some bars, freestyle, whatever. We could have made that thing jump, man. But they ain't holler at me.
Nah, man. If Eric Gordon would have had a churro with him, I would have put it in a bid for him. I can use my gutters to be clean. He got some hops.
So what y'all are watching today is what's called a cold open. For those of y'all who are familiar with TV, this is what's called a cold open, where there is no intro. There are no credits. We just going. NBA trade deadline. We thought a couple weeks ago we're gonna have an easy day. Not too much is gonna happen. A couple light work pieces. Nothing major. But of course, the NBA, being the NBA, has always got something for you.
They never disappoint.
Never disappoint.
Even my man Big Shot can't even finish his sandwich because of y'all.
Even in a pandemic year, we don't know what the cap is gonna look like. They find a way. So, fellas, yes, I'm being slightly unprofessional. I apologize to the people, but this is my lunch break. And we didn't want to leave y'all waiting. We didn't want to leave y'all waiting until later tonight after y'all done talked yourselves to death on it. So, between bites, what is y'all favorite move that's happened today? I will tell you mine right now. I love what the Bulls did today. That is what we call grown-up GM. That's what grown people do. The Bulls have spent the last 5 seasons playing around with the roster, playing with too many kids. They accomplished 2 things, and I'm gonna get y'all to it. 1, you bring Porter, you get Porter's contract out of there. 2, Wendell Carter Jr. was a player that's kind of fell out of favor. They weren't really high on. To bring back an all-star center, which he is legitimately, don't be fooled by the whole Orlando Magic thing. He's a legit all-star center in his prime, is a great move. So I'm going to start there. I'm going to turn my camera off for a little bit. I'm listening. So
let that man finish his sandwich.
So they don't have to see me eat. But Germ or Trav, whoever want to jump in first. Let's start with that move and then go to y'all favorite moves of the day.
Here, I'll take it first.
Go ahead.
I'll take it first real quick just to do that, and then we'll go right into yours, Trav. What I like about the move, number one, is you at least did something that's going to help you make a push now for that play-in game spot. That's where you at if you Chicago. You got a lot of pieces. You got a lot of things that you can do, but you have now a guy who can legitimately give you 20 and 10 on any given night. Perfect guy to work the pick and roll with your Kobe Whites and your Zach Levines and those type of things. You have all of that now. So now we just have to figure out what we're gonna do with the Lauri Markkanen situation. And we looking at is the fish ready? That may be the subtitle for the show. Do I gotta put it in subtitles or something? Is the fish ready? Go ahead, Trey.
I mean, my favorite one is what the beginning of the year, what people been talking about, and the Clippers finally got a point guard. They finally get Rondo for the trade for Lou Will. That was that. And I just got a Don DeMarco just showed up 5 minutes ago that we've been talking about, that Drummond is getting bought out. And I'm gonna break another one. Like I told you before, Jern, JJ Redick just went to the Dallas Mavericks.
Yep, he's in the Mavericks.
Yes. So, but my favorite one was Rondo. The Clippers finally got what they needed. They got what they needed. So, Ham, MJ, what you got, man?
We'll give it to him.
Rondo, for no other reason but a very petty reason, he is the ultimate mercenary in this league, and I fucking like it. It's dope. Man, won a title with the Celtics, won a title with the Lakers. Then with the Atlanta, got him, 30-piece, 100 gold, chill for a little while, hung around the trade deadline, pop back up in La La Land one more time. This time he on the other side. And as Trav noted, we still got cats getting bought out. Germ got a buyout list that we gonna run through and go over. But that one right there is enough to at least, I won't call it a blockbuster for a blockbuster player, but it's a blockbuster style move. Mm-hmm. That's what generally the casuals will look for on a day like today. But you can't undersell the value of a day like today, because especially like what Big Shot and Germ alluded to with the Bulls. They got better. Did they improve to the point of contention? No, but they shown they progressed with that. I like the Portland-Toronto swap for both sides. I think they, you bring Norman Powell, championship cachet. You bring him over to the fold in Portland with those dogs that they got, and with stuff shaking up in the West, he can't do nothing but help and add on to that. And then you send back my man Gary Trent, who's in the contract year, probably about to get a bag. And then he was also a second-round pick, also with Rodney Hood, a bunch of, with youth over there, which there are reconstruction going on in Toronto. I won't call it a rebuild, because they still got, heavy hitters there that know how to win and know how to win right now, even if they don't have the pieces, but they can help and grow, matriculate back to their point. Go ahead, MJ.
Breaking Oladipo to the Miami Heat. I'll give y'all the details in a second.
Oh, okay.
They wilded. I see this right now. Last second buzzer beater shooting ass folks.
Hey, what I just say before we went live. I said the fax machines is all accepting papers until at least 2:15, 3:15 Eastern. Keep it coming. The fish is now ready.
NBA, he came in like Jason Lockett 4 around that thing. Breaking.
Right. NBA, y'all got more than enough money to develop some type of Gmail chat system. Why are y'all worried about faxes? That's another story. I'm not going to even go there. All right, so for So for Chicago, that's what we was talking about first. So I kind of bring it back to the swing of things. I said 5 years ago that in 2023 this is going to be a big man's league again. And at first I said that because of Joel Embiid, but the more that I see Nikola Jokic, the more I'm looking and like he can win a title playing this way. The numbers that he's putting up is uttermost ridiculous. Why am I referring that right now to the Bulls? Because Nikola Vucevic quietly can do the same thing. And if you look at what the Bulls have, they have a bunch of dudes who love to get buckets, who don't necessarily need to have the ball in their hands per se. And Nikola Vucevic can be at the top of the key, pick people apart with back cuts and handoffs, and Zach LaVine can eat off of that. And if you double team, Vucevic can hit the three, and he also can win a post play. So I think the league is going more towards that direction. Just stay tuned on that. Also, I love the fact that Denver decided to build around their superstars area of improvement, which is one area that he can't improve in because it's just a physical deficiency, which is athleticism. So what do? We got a big in JaVale McGee who can protect the rim on his behalf. And we also got probably the most athletic power forward in the East in Aaron Gordon. And we're pretty much saying, look, if you get past our guy Jokic, we got people behind waiting to rotate. So we'll see what happens. But I like the fact that both of those teams shot their shot. And like I said at the very beginning, Orlando was trying to catch this fade for Cade. So having that fire sale is good for them because you can't be in between in the NBA. You either got to be good and willing to go for it, or you got to be trash and play the NBA lottery game. So that's pretty much what we're at.
Let me take the controls for 1 second. Let me take the wheel. Real quick, the Raptors. The thing about the Raptors deal was they had some things going obviously with Miami and LA. The determining factor is neither team wanted to throw in certain players. The player for the Miami Heat that they didn't want to throw in is they didn't want to throw in Mr. Hero himself. And the Lakers did not want to throw in Horton Tucker. Which I think is very
he's real slick.
Hey, he know what he doing. Yeah, I can tell you that.
Orlando know what they doing too on the low. I'm gonna get more into detail on that one too. I jokingly say catch the fade for Cade, but if you actually look at their team, Jonathan Isaac is injured. Correct. Mo Bamba, if I gave you Mo Bamba's per 35 stats when he actually got a chance to get in the game, y'all would look at me like I'm crazy. The man was putting up like 27 and 13 on the per 35 stat. At some point, you got to give him minutes to see if that's what it really is. Will it be 27-13? Probably not. Could it be 20 and 10? Absolutely, it could.
And we're talking about with jumpers. We're talking about being a guy being a gazelle going up and down the floor. Defensively, he changed his shots. We're talking about closing off the paint. We talk about also being able to step out and hit a corner three. That's another part of this that makes it so you do not. So now you have a big that you can run that you don't have to take off the floor. Low key, it was either you was going to trade Bamba or you was going to trade Vucevic. By keeping Bamba, you even have Bamba next year. So now you got the rest of the season and all of next season to figure out if he's like that. And that's more than enough time.
In addition to 2 picks, which is what I love about the Bulls who traded those picks, because these picks is not going to help you get to the next level. The only person that I can honestly say could be better than what Vucevic is at his position coming in the next 2 drafts is Chet Holmgren. And even then, he going to need to gain 30 pounds to even get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're trying to win now and you know you need a big, all of the bigs is in these next 2 drafts, they're not going to be ready till about 22, 23 years old. Evan Mobley is just not ready right now. He will be. Give him 3-4 years, a good weight room, good nutrition. I think he's going to be a really solid player. But you already got that in Lauri Markkanen. You have that guy already.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all didn't get rid of Lauri Markkanen or Kobe White, which is also a very good look. So they did a good job.
Lowry stand put, everybody. He will not be traded. I'm gonna put he's also a part of another list that we'll break down in a second. Don't worry, because it's some things that's probably still gonna happen. He's making $30 million this season. So whatever the Raptors was gonna do, I know the NBA brought up a trade that we talked about here months ago, and that was Kimba and him. Those big contracts, what happens is they got a lot of these guys making a lot of money. So this is why when I told y'all about 4 or 5 shows ago, hey, Drummond's not being traded. Well, why? 28 million reasons why. Nobody wants that contract for $28 million. As much as we will endorse, the things that Drummond does on the floor, that's not $28 million worth of value for a lot of these teams. So it's better that he's bought out and we get him on a better deal and we go from there. So I'm gonna swing it back to the point guard, big shot. I don't want to, I got my layup a couple times. So now let me go get back into the offense.
So Trav, I want to bring you back in. So 2 of the names, I think this is kind of transition to the buyout section now, which I think now becomes really, really interesting over the next couple of weeks. So obviously LaMarcus Aldridge wasn't moved. DeMar DeRozan wasn't moved. It appears like Kyle Lowry is there for now. Drummond we talked about. Which one of those, or is there another move in the buyout market that you feel like this player is going to be able to help a contender? Because I'm looking at it if you're a contender. I'm not looking at I don't think if you're out of this, if you're a low playoff seed or a lottery team, you're going into the buyout market. But if you are a contender, which one of those in the buyout market do you like?
Hold up, man. Something just came on my phone, just real interesting.
Okay.
It was something about Golden State and San Antonio. When you said it, somebody gotta, oh my God, give me just a moment. Because they send the Warriors gonna send Chris to the Spurs. Nothing. Anyway, the main one is gonna be Marcus Aldridge. Wherever he goes, because although the bigs is not as in style no more, LaMarcus being bought out and going somewhere, it's gonna be real interesting. LaMarcus Aldridge is gonna be a real interesting pickup for somebody. It's gonna be that's just in my opinion. I don't know anybody else as far as a buyout. I mean, of course, wherever Kyle goes, it's gonna make a team better. But with the ones that you were saying though, I'm leaning towards LaMarcus Aldridge.
DeMar DeRozan is also going to be a part of this conversation. The Spurs are talking about getting rid of both of those guys. JJ, with him being traded, is now off of the buyout list. And don't be surprised if Kyle finds his way out of Toronto. We're going to see. But now with us having this Gary Trent situation and the Rodney Hood situation, I'm interested to see what happens, because you're going to get Kyle off your books next year, and Gary Trent is going to be set to be hitting your books this year. As Worldwide Les already filled me in and gave me the 411. With Trent, he is a second-round pick, so he's an unrestricted free agent. So this is going to make this a very interesting time for what they want to do. It gives you the pieces that you need now. Gary Trent is a perfect third guard for this team, I think, in general. Does he add what Powell adds? Maybe not. But what he does give you is he gives you a young guy that you can potentially develop and bring along. So let's see what happens. The FVV, Fred VanVleet fan club is right here in front of us. The guy who made all of it happen, Mr. MJ himself. He looks like he's going to probably transition into being the lead guard.
Yeah.
And it's not saying Kyle's bad. It's just Kyle's 30-something.
You
has to happen.
You paid VanVleet for that. You paid VanVleet because you felt like if we gave him the keys to the car, not only will he not wreck it, but he can do a very formidable job of it. You got to also understand that title is not won without VanVleet making those shots. Yeah, Kyle did a lot of good things too. I think both of them are extremely valuable, but it just really comes down to age. And, with just looking at everything, just got to make sure that all of these moves that you're doing is just making sense to be able to, win now, build in the mid, and also build in the future. So
here's my question for y'all, and I want to kind of bat this around rapid fire style. I'll start with J Ham. The team who, as usual, almost did something. Boston. The Kings of I almost did something. And we know Boston has had a really rough season for a variety of reasons. I think this is my theory. Could be wrong. They made the Fournier deal. They made the Fournier deal because it's low risk. It's 2 second-round picks. So you trade that man for both the sandwiches I just ate. So to me, this is Danny Ainge saying, Brad, here's your last roll of the dice. So now you have Tatum, Brown, Kemba, Fournier. What you gonna do?
This pen is now signing me out.
Well, the thing about it is, what I want the Eastern Conference teams to really take a look at, what I'm about to say might shock y'all, but I'm actually going to be real about it. And it's not that I agree or disagree with the approach, but I do not think Brooklyn is going to be a dynasty. The reason why I don't think they're going to be a dynasty is because when they win this season, and now they're the 100, and Kyrie is going to do Kyrie things, which I have no disagreement with. We've seen what happened when the locker room was in disagreement when Kawhi Leonard was doing it. We've seen how other people on that team felt when Paul George wanted preferential treatment. It destroyed that locker room. It did. As far as KD goes, I don't know how healthy he's going to remain. The fact that he still ain't playing right now, are they icing him for the playoffs or is he really injured? That's a legitimate question. We do not know. And you know how hamstrings are. Hamstrings just don't go away. One tweak and you can be out of there again. That's a soft tissue injury. If I'm in the East, I'm loading up. Maybe not for this year. But around 2022, 2023, this thing gonna be open again. And once again, it has nothing to do with talent. When I say I don't think Brooklyn is going to be a dynasty, it has nothing to do with talent. I think it's probably the most talented team I've ever seen on paper. But at some point, I don't think with the personalities as well, KD personality, Kyrie personality, they both are quirky brothers. And with guys improving around them, they're going to want a little bit of more. They want a little bit more respect, a little bit more money, a little bit more role in the offense when playoff time comes. The only person that probably will stay cool is James Harden, to be honest. Only because he ain't used to winning like that. So Boston is missing out.
So Ham, bring you back in. What you think?
Exactly what you thinking. Exactly, because I think really for us, it's been kind of sitting on the brain anyway with Brad, that expiration point. It's not that he's a bad coach. He's a fantastic coach. It's more of a level or more of a situation of, you kind of, as you can say, it's levels to it, but he's great at bringing the talent from here to here. Now, from getting from here to here as a whole, it's what he's got in his hands right now, and he's kind of fumbling around with, because for a while it was like he had so many toys to play with, to try to tinker with, play with, let grow, groom, the whole nine. Now that's kind of been reduced, and the expectation, of course, continues to rise as for the team as well as the players. And he, Worldwide Les said like 2 years ago, he probably done, y'all, in that regard. He wasn't speaking negatively on it, just speaking on what it is in general. He's good. He can get you from one level to the next, But what about that next level? Which that'll keep him employed in NBA and basketball, period, whether you want to go back to D1 or continue to coach at this level. It will keep him employed. It may suit him better to go back to the Division I level because he's got more control over his personnel in general at that point.
Yeah.
But as far as this Boston team under him, though, I think they peaked. And they probably peaked a couple of years ago as a team, as a crew, as a unit. The players are still growing, and how long do we give Danny Ainge? Not that I'm calling for Danny Ainge's job, but a fresh voice and fresh mind in the Boston office may be needed there too. It's just that we're in that era of transition, man, because it's like we really don't know exactly where it's going, but we know what we got in front of us, talent-wise. It's just a matter of who's going to be able to put all that together the right way.
And sometimes it ain't even about the replacement being better or being more experienced.
No.
Sometimes it's really just the player needing another voice. Because as a player, you just get tired of hearing the same voice, especially when you go from here to here. Then it's just a matter of that.
Hey man, blind GM just came to real life with the Boston Celtics. That's just the bottom line. That move is a straight lateral move. You didn't get better. You didn't get worse. If you want a FedEx return slip, I got you, Boston. I got you.
Fournier's gonna get you that 23 and 2. He's gonna get you 20 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists.
Low cholesterol points, man. I'm talking about 4 quarters, 3 minutes left. He gonna get you 10.
Can I just go ahead and say it? That was the open face cheese toast move by Boston. It just was.
I mean,
it was on the level.
It's two second round picks. Why not?
They the original Thunder in regards to picks. You know what I'm saying? Because they was getting them around the clock for a good while.
Mm-hmm.
Shouts out to Lou Will for going back home, man, too. Shouts out to Lou Will. He can go home.
Lou Will.
I will say this. In a first round matchup, Trae Young and Lou is enough to win 2 games.
Yeah.
So Atlanta's not going to be a fun first round matchup with those two, simply because Atlanta can score. Like Atlanta's 115, 120 most nights. So whoever they get in the first round, I think will be maybe we will have their hands full, but it's gonna be a no.
It's not gonna be easy.
And spots 4 through 9 in the East, just separated by 3 total. 3 total games. So it's super tight. UGK level super tight.
Hey, since you there, read off 4 through 9 for us real quick. Just so we kind of see where everybody's at.
You said 4 through 9 or 1 through 9?
4
through 9.
I mean, we'll just run it through. We got Philly at 1, Milwaukee 2, Brooklyn 3. That's the separation. Then when you get to Charlotte at 4, they got a half game up over Miami, New York, and Atlanta at 5, 6, and 7. Boston at 8, and they game and a half back. Indiana's at 9, they 2.5 back.
And where the Bulls at since they made that move?
18.
Right. Bulls right behind them.
So I
With
think Miami
Toronto right
pushes to that
behind
4th.
them.
I think Miami shores up that 4th seed. That's why they got Oladipo.
And even Cleveland not out of it.
Jern, what was the Oladipo haul? Is there any final details on how much that was for him?
Avery Bradley, Kelly Olynyk, and a draft pick.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Open face. If that's all they asked, yeah, sure.
Swap and a matter of fact, it's a pick swap to be a pick swap.
Oh yeah, let's go.
I'm not mad
Yeah.
at that, but I
No,
did see
it's a
something
good
that
move.
did just get me.
What's up?
That's why I got this look on my face now. So apparently Chicago took Daniel Tice from Boston. I'm
Okay.
trying to find all them deals now, all the details now, but
Hey, the fax machine. Hey, well, you know what happened? Somebody didn't put enough toner in the fax.
They need to go email. They need to go email.
Yeah. You know, the fax machine. Sometimes the paper get caught in the get jammed. You got to change it out a little bit.
Yeah.
And
You know, that's just Chicago franchise balancing out people's, excitement.
Hey.
They can't, you know how like, when you get somebody in which you don't want to set the bar too high, you want to keep the bar even. That's what that's what Chicago franchises do to their fans. They like, oh, hold on, they too excited. Let me get somebody else to make us look like we ain't that competent. We just want to keep y'all right here. We don't need y'all expecting this. Expect this. Just expect this.
Is Avery Bradley from? He went to school at Texas, though, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Houston did. Yeah.
so
Okay.
let's talk about this real quick. JJ Redick, the trade to the Mavericks. It was JJ and Nico Melli for James Johnson, Mr. Kung Fu himself,
Hey,
and Wes, I can't pronounce his last name. And a second round pick. So basically, with this being said, with James Johnson, that's $16 million that's coming off the books next year. So you traded for this aspiring contract that you got here with that. That's about $16 million coming off the books. That's how much he's getting paid this year. So with that, you're going to use that money to pay Lonzo. So Lonzo will be a Pelican next year, more than likely. And he's going to get that 20 that he was asking for. That's why Lonzo wasn't moved at the trade deadline. That's what I really wanted to talk about because Lonzo looks like he's going to be staying put.
of course.
Last thing, Boston. Yeah. It looks like y'all I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all what y'all gonna be in a minute. Y'all gonna be in this pissed off box. Because right now y'all getting pissed on and y'all pissing me off. And it's just what it is.
Maybe just maybe they try to catch the fade for Cade too.
Man, listen. So they can have another dude that's 6'10" in 3 years.
Yeah. We just gonna collect them.
Hey, look, this is the thing. This what makes me so mad. This what makes me so mad. Have you realized that everybody on Boston team that plays significant minutes is 6'10"?
Yeah.
Or 6'9"?
Yeah.
Stop it, man. Stop it.
It is the most
smart.
It is so annoying.
Hey, Kimba.
Yeah. And Kimba the super midget out of the bunch at 5'11".
They just 5'6'3".
I'm so sick of these folks, man.
Boston,
So Cam, you remember my segment I used to do on my podcast? I'm a dumbass, sponsored by Charles Barkley Dumbass. That's Boston. I'm a dumbass.
I tried to take it light on y'all, Boston, but y'all done aggravated Germ. Y'all know how that shit.
That's your fault.
Germ get aggravated. I'm just saying.
What is Evan gonna guarantee for y'all?
Open face cheese toast.
It's two.
One to
they did. I'm gonna tell you what Boston did. Boston had 4 shiny quarters, and what they did was they went in their backyard and buried that shit. And came back 5 years, and it still was 4 quarters. It was dirty.
Just dirty.
No, they were dirty now because they got buried. So you pretty much changed your 4 shiny quarters. Your 4 shiny quarters were your assets. You decided to bury your assets, and then now your assets still worth the same amount, but dirty.
Let's just say, for our core group right here, it got over about as well as a fart would in church.
You ain't just about to. Yep,
doing
you ain't about to just
doing prayer.
Is you go to your favorite retail clothing store, and you walking out the store and they got that rack, and it's like, yo, I don't really need the extra pair of black Nike socks,
but they're $1.
But they $2 for $4. You might as well just throw the $4 and get the socks.
Yeah, they're $1.
You really need the socks? Not really.
Nah.
Hey, so with the Western Conference. So now that we had the Aaron Gordon move to Denver, which I like a lot. This is probably my second favorite move of the day, behind the Vucevic move. Aaron Gordon to Denver. So kind of where are we at in the standings with the West? And kind of let's see how this is going.
So we got the Jazz at 32-11, the Suns at 29-14, the Clippers is 29-16, Lakers is 28-16, Nuggets is 26-18, Portland is 25-18, Mavericks is 23-19, Spurs is 22-19, and the Grizzlies is 21-20, with the Warriors right there at 22-22 at the 10th spot.
Okay.
And they 2.5 games over the Pelicans and Kings and Thunder, which are all ironically tied at 19-25. Actually, the Pelicans are 19-24.
So right now, Portland, the teams that made, so we talk about Portland, who made a move today with Norm Powell, currently sitting at 6.
Mhm.
We got the Clippers who made the move at the point. I think the Rondo move is you just purely just like, Rondo, we just need you in about 8 weeks. You got 8 weeks to get you ready.
Yep.
So they sitting at 3. Dallas, that's trying to hold on to that playoff spot.
Right.
We're trying to hold on. And so, fellas, looking at what happened today in the trade, the West, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago on the show, LeBron James versus the field. Apart from what we don't know in the buyout market, and obviously the health of LeBron, the health of AD are the huge question marks. Are you still with your field pick, or are you still with LeBron pick?
I'm still with the field.
Listen,
I am
y'all can
still
play
with-
LeBron. I'm still gonna play the field. Rondo going to the Clippers makes me really excited about the field. Because if it's anybody who can take one of his Infinity Stones, it's Rajon Rondo. In fact, he didn't conquer the Western Conference without Rajon Rondo last year. That's the perfect player for that team.
Well, as
We-
I
we-
stated, go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead.
I would say we've now seen dudes who have been a part of beating LeBron in May and June before actually come together. Kawhi done it. Rondo done it a couple times. Or been a part of it. I'm not saying they did it solo dolo, but they were a major part of it. And
LeBron couldn't
Hey,
be Rondo in that Boston Celtics team for a while.
see what I'm saying?
Not by
and-
itself.
And of
And
course they
again-
shot 70-some%, so it would
No,
Trav
no,
them with Kawhi. So
I mean, Trav and them was shot making people against them back in
Right.
14.
And speaking of them folks are finalizing Lamar Gasol's revive as we speak.
and also with the
Who is
coach
in
that Braun
The
won
Spurs.
with too.
Spurs.
They
The
playing
Spurs
for a
are
coach
well.
that Braun won with. So it's interesting storyline.
I stated earlier that I'm picking LeBron barring injury. Well, he's injured.
That's the way it is right now.
Man, what you want me to do?
I'm so sick of it.
I said barring injury.
It'll be interesting. They got 7. The regular season has 7 weeks left as of today. What is the health of both of those guys
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
come May 16th when the season is over? I am still taking LeBron until otherwise. We've been down this road for 10 years. But I will say the Clippers, the Rondo move, I know a lot of people are going to, of course, you look at Rondo's numbers, you're like, Why? Because it's for 2 months from now. It's 2 months from now we're going to the playoffs. Then Rondo becomes. I think Portland becomes a very dangerous first round matchup for somebody. Because if you look at that three, CJ, Norman, Dame, find me 3 better guards on any other team in the league.
Not too many,
Well,
if any at all, in my opinion.
and I think this is what makes it fun. We all knew LeBron couldn't play forever. He probably got a couple of years tops in which he's probably going to have to hang it up. And now teams are seeing that, and they are positioning themselves to be the next one or try to get, a championship themselves. I mean, if you're Denver, you had to make these moves because the number one team in the West right now is a team you beat in 7 games. So, and only difference they have is Bucks. Not to say that's not a good difference. That's a big difference. But by the same token, you beat this team before. They still don't have an answer for Jamal Murray. They still don't have an answer for Jokic. So you beat them before.
And also, MJ, you also got too, if you're Denver and you end up with one of the LA teams in the first round, you need the athleticism and the size.
I have no choice.
To compete with either one of the LA teams if you get either one of the LA teams in the first round. Because I think we saw with Denver last year against LA, I mean, they gave it their all, but the size and the physicality wore them out.
Overwhelming.
And what Denver did, what I like the most is they finally shored it up. I think Denver had a problem with trying to figure out if they were going to build the team around Murray or Jokic. Well, Jokic violently stole that team and said, no, this is my team, build around me.
Right.
So anytime you build around your superstar, it's a very simple concept. Everything that your team can't do, your superstar should be able to do. Everything your superstar can't do, the rest of your team has to do it. Jokic is not blocking no damn shots. Jokic is not going to wow you with his athletic prowess. So we got 2 athletic dudes. One can block shots, and one could be able to, possibly. If I'm Denver, I'm purposely throwing a black hoodie on Aaron Gordon, and I'm throwing him in the dungeon. I'm handcuffing him. I'm taking the hoodie off, and I'm just going to have him watch Sean Marion tapes for 24 hours while I feed him water and crackers. That's it. That's what I'm doing. This is your role, dude. You ain't doing nothing else. Hit this corner 3, guard my best wing, and run. Finish anytime you can finish. That is it. Don't do nothing else.
What did it say? You are not a small forward. You are not a small forward.
That Shannon's gonna be playing in the dungeon too while the TV on mute with him watching Sean Marion in that same dungeon.
Because they can point out.
You hit your mute. There you go. Go ahead.
Yeah, somebody, Scam likely wanted to call in. He had thoughts on the Norman Powell trade. I had to say, Scam, get out of here.
Now they want to know your auto warranty.
Yeah, that too.
Yo, Scam likely.
Yeah, man, Scam likely. Like, if you look at Denver, they can put a really interesting lineup. You talk about Gordon, MPJ, Jokic, Barton, Jamal Murray.
That's some buckets.
They have a really interesting group of players that they can throw out there. Go ahead, Trey.
They can get so stupid with it. Don't you worry about Will Barton. Put JaVale McGee out there with Jokic.
The JaVale McGee. That's an underrated.
JaVale, Jokic. You can put AG out there. You got my guy Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray.
A-Trav, they could run from the video game show. You would talk about the zone you were throwing out on people. They could run your old video game zone out there.
Hey, it's not like Jokic ain't the point guard for real. I've seen Jokic break it up and call the play.
He can handle the ball. The dribble handoff. and then you helping on him. Oh, he's just gonna throw the ball up there. It ain't like he got three athletic people on the floor that can catch whatever he can throw.
And he loves
JaVale,
throwing that. Yeah, that movement,
and
the back cuts, he find them every time too. Like
Oh,
Aaron Gordon,
God.
dude, you really can average a easy ass 18 to 20 just off being just moving.
Let's move. Just move. The ball is gonna hit your hand. Just move. That's an ugly lineup.
They could do some really some interesting things with that
And
team.
they still got my guy,
Blackish.
Monty Morris, man.
Oh, I like
Put some
Monty.
respect on my guys. Nay, that's my guy.
And I got you to trade him.
Hey, you know what? I'm
I'm
muting
joking.
you.
You didn't trade. You didn't trade him. You didn't trade him. I was joking. You didn't trade him. You traded Blackish. It was cool.
No,
Okay.
I ain't. No, I got rid of to Murray.
No, you didn't trade him. I was joking. You did not trade him.
Y'all crazy. Y'all dudes nuts, man.
Mm.
So, Ham, let me swing this back over to you, Ham. For the teams that wasn't active today, that's in the playoff concern. So we're talking about a team like the Bucks. We're talking about the Knicks. We're talking about the Suns. Jazz. I think the Jazz sitting cool with that, but I think the Bucks, the Knicks, and the Suns are interesting if they did move. I think, and Ham, I know you've been on the Knicks, so you on the Knicks case kind of tough. But I kind of like the fact that they didn't go in.
I like the squad, to be honest with you. Could
Right.
they just
The
go out?
Knicks made a trade today.
Who they get?
There's a
Yeah.
three-team deal. There's a
Yeah.
three-team deal. 76ers, Knicks, and Thunder. Philly
That
got
shit was
George
tough.
Hill. The Knicks got Terrence Ferguson. OKC got Austin Rivers, Tony Bradley, and 2 second-round picks.
The Knicks was
More
the
picks.
man.
Hey, if your son is in the 7th grade right now, keep grinding, young fella, because the Oklahoma City Thunder are waiting on you.
Coming.
Hey, I think I'm about to take my AAU team on a trip to Oklahoma City and be like, if you grind, you're going to be here in 4 years.
Open run.
Yeah, you're going to be here in 4 years if you grind right.
Also, make sure
this is where it will start for you in Oklahoma City, guaranteed.
the Heat also got Bjelica from the Kings as well. They also made that deal as well. That's official as well.
That's a solid pick.
So
That's
the Kings actually brought in so actually the Heat brought in Bjelica and Oladipo. So I think overall he's a more consistent shooting Kelly Olynyk for you. And you brought in another ball handler, which you needed anyway. So now what my interesting thing is going to be is now does Mr. Hero
I'm going to tell you about him.
Oh, okay. Well, go ahead. I'm gonna let you cook.
I couldn't wait for you to give me this one. The reason why he made these trades is because of Hero. And here's a lesson for you guys. And I hope the NBA is listening to me too. But I want everybody who has an organization or who has a son between the size of 6'3" and 6'5", I want all y'all to hear me. Just because you can dribble does not make you a point guard. Do I got to repeat that for the people in the back?
Go ahead.
Just because you can dribble and lift your hand up does not make you a point guard. Everybody can't be a point guard. Stop trying to make everybody a point guard. Tyler Hero is a whole bucket. And y'all messed up trying to put him with the ball in his hands and trying to make him navigate through pick and rolls. That is not what he is. He can do it. That is not who he is. Y'all are struggling because y'all trying to make somebody into something that they're just not. Damn it.
Well,
Stop making people into point guard today point guards.
Right.
I mean, he should be your third or fourth ball handler. That's what he's there for.
As a natural point guard, I co-sign.
As a person that's not a natural point guard, I co-sign. That shit hard as hell.
And historically, even within this last decade, aforementioned Victor Oladipo drafted to play point guard when he's not a point guard.
Yep.
And they got that model in form from drafting Russell Westbrook for the same thing. And looking at it like from a player standpoint, he's got a level of success. Yeah, we've been deep in the playoffs with it, but we all know there's other elements as to why that worked the way that it worked, because my narrative still stands. Russ without KD ain't seen Mother's Day. Granted, they got out the first round. They got out the first round of Houston, but
Russ
that
is
don't
gonna
count.
get to play past Mother's Day this year, y'all, because the season longer.
He is.
Hey, all right,
That's
Russ.
what's
Good
up.
for you, buddy.
Also, I want to give a shout
Hey,
out to
little
the
buddy.
Rockets.
Hey,
I
little
want to
buddy.
give I want to give a shout out to the Rockets for losing 20 straight and they still not in last place. How the hell they pulled that off?
Who in last?
That's black
Minnesota.
excellence. That's black excellence. You know how for my people who grew up impoverished, you know how
This
like it'll
man
be
said
shit in the
black
fridge,
excellence.
but your mother go down there in 20 minutes, whip up some shit that you didn't even know existed in your house. That's what Silas is doing right now.
Hey,
He went downstairs in the kitchen because we hungry and came back with some grits, some rice, a biscuit, some frozen sausage that was behind the water bottles that's always frozen. And he had made us some breakfast.
hey, I cannot think of a first year coach. This is completely side note, who has had more nonsense to deal with than Steven Silas has had his first year in Houston. So I hope that young brother, I didn't say young, I think he's actually older than all of them, but he's young as a head coach.
Yeah.
I hope he really gets a fair shot in Houston, because this whole year, it's been nonsense from day one.
And John Wall may get bought out.
Like, hashtag hold tight Steven Silas, man. Hold tight Steven Silas.
Man, look, man.
I'm telling you, man.
It's cringing to watch. I'm making light of it, but it's cringing to watch, man.
It's not cool what he's having to go through is not.
Nah.
At least at AAU, when your team is trash, at least the parents paid you the money for your team to be trash.
Right.
And Big Shot, just to say this, they didn't make a deal today, but they did make a deal previous to today. The Bucks traded for PJ Tucker, remember?
Right. Now it's a fire sale going on in there too.
It's a lot of like teams.
No, I just
like
wanted to put that out there because
Yes,
the
it's true. That's
Stars,
true.
the Bucks, the Jazz. A lot of them did their work early as far as
Yeah.
they are set right now.
Right.
I mean, the biggest thing for Phoenix was, of course, Chris Paul. The Jazz got healthier and they got a couple more pieces with everything they got, and of course Milwaukee with Drew Holiday and the other guys that they did have, and that's still a success right now. That's why you kind of didn't see them move heavily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm Phoenix because Phoenix is in a spot they ain't supposed to be. Like Phoenix is like, you talk about an MJ and Jerm notice because they dabble with the numbers. They got a definition of playing with house money right now. Because they not supposed to be the number 2 seed in the West. They ain't supposed to be nowhere near that.
They is taking a global success and running with it.
Hey, you know something? when the switch went off and the light bulb went off with them, when they realized what it took for them to play 48 minutes every night. You play 48 minutes, so you put yourself in a position every night. We have a guaranteed bucket in Devin Booker. We have a young and developing big, even though he better not be shooting no face-up jumpers, in DeAndre Ayton. And we also have Bridges is a problem in this league.
Yeah.
Let's make sure we understand he is a hooper.
Yeah. His offense has come along so much faster than I thought it was gonna come along. I'm very clear when I say this. I'm not saying Jaylen Brown at all. But that growth in his offense that matches what he can do on the defensive end of the floor, Mikal Bridges is going to be a really valuable dude for a long time.
His 17 points mean a lot.
Because of what he can do. And I think on that team, he's a real big piece of that team. So, Trav, I agree with you. They did their homework early. You know, they're not scrambling for the test. They're not looking for the grading key. 5 minutes before the teacher come back in the class.
I mean, some things when it comes to basketball goes deeper than just a move being made here or salaries having here or there. This tone was set at the very first practice when CP3 and Booker was about to fight because it got that competitive. When that happened, the tone was set. We are ready. If we're ready to fight each other, what you think we're gonna do against the enemy?
And for a lot of them, especially at this level, they're actually being held accountable on the floor for the 48 minutes.
Right.
That's the part where Chris comes in, just in general. And you're seeing the results, man. You're seeing the results. Like Big Shot said, they playing with the biggest set of house money of all, sitting where they sitting.
I will say this about CP3 though. Just like how we say you got those point A to point B coaches, CP3 is a point A to point B leader.
That's fair. That's fair.
Because around year 2, year 3, you ain't trying to hit that motherfucker.
That's fair.
Right.
It's a little bit of Stan Van Gundy-ish.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm with you this year. And I'm with you. But like after a while, like, bro, Phil, shut the fuck up talking to me.
Hey man, look forward for Lamar Aldridge to be going to the Heat.
Aldridge to the Heat.
Look forward.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
Look forward to that.
I mean, the Heat knows. The Heat at this point, the Heat is just trying to get to the bubble. Because from what I'm hearing, because they like, we comfortable there. We don't care what seed it is.
We just gonna go out here and hoop. And that's exactly what you gotta do at this point. Get it together, play some good ball.
All I'm gonna say is, as we get ready to wrap up here, fellas, we got some interesting things that we're gonna be discussing. Don't forget Friday Fun tomorrow. We're gonna break down the Sweet 16. Oh, I'm here for this.
Yeah,
I'm here for this.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Fade for K, get drugged for subs.
Yes, Germ, that's a big shout. 3:30 Eastern Friday, 2:30 Eastern Central. The Sweet 16 preview. It feels like the first and second round was like a long time ago. For some
4 games
reason.
straight, sign me up for that. Do it again. Shit.
I think it was a minute ago. So we're gonna preview that. I got 3 left, so we'll see what happens.
I put my parlay in.
Hey,
I took the over on everybody. So if it happens, I can get a $900 bonus in which I make sure I buy all the cookies from Ham. I'm gonna buy a Ball U shirt from me. I'm gonna buy Germ's glasses so I can see from his perspective. I'm gonna be balling out.
and then Monday night we will be back with another watch party because the South and the Midwest regional finals are Monday night.
Yep.
So if y'all want to join us Monday night for the doubleheader, live commentary, the jokes, the banter, the analysis, we will be here for that Monday.
Yep.
Big Shot, Trav, Ham, 1-800 Money MJ. Operators are standing by. Germ, the man controlling the camera. We will see y'all tomorrow for the Sweet 16 preview. Monday for the watch party. 94 Feet of Life basketball for the people, by the people. We out.